So I built this table, and I can point out every flaw and tell you how it got there. But the most important things about it to me are that I built it and it's functional. I had an idea, I got out of my head about making it perfectly. I tried something new and it produced this. Really, I didn't have much of a choice but to get out of my head about it because my housewarming was coming up and I needed a table quickly, but that's beside the point. Now, this is a table that many meals and conversations have been shared at. This is a table where a lot of laughter has been shared over games like spades and skip-bo. A table that friends and family have been bragged about and been more proud of than me at times. This is a table that I'm proud of now, and will I rebuild it and fix the imperfections? Probably. But until then, it's my reminder that it doesn't always need to be perfect to achieve its purpose, and that I don't always need to have all of the knowledge to start. I'll get it along the way. Now, worst comes to worst, you just learn how to do it better the next time. And so here's to starting whatever your next thing is, or here's to building your next table. Actually, I want to go back to the part about feeling like you need to have all the knowledge. The world has a really good way of convincing us that we need something to be good enough, to be happy, to be a real man or woman, to start. But oftentimes it's a lie, one that causes you to look outward instead of inward and upward. And of course, that way of thinking serves the world and the enemy that rules it. It serves the businesses that want you to buy their products, the self-help gurus that want you in their classes and buying their books. It serves the enemy that wants you focused everywhere else but on the God above and what he has already equipped you with. Now, the way God revealed this to me was while working out. In the middle of a workout, I started to think about muscles, which makes sense. I didn't need to go buy any muscles to start working out, nor implant anything. Not even a gym membership is required. If my goal is to get stronger, I build on the muscles that God already placed. To get faster, I build on the speed that I already have. Now, can that look like classes and memberships and all the things? Sure, but when it becomes a requirement, it's often more of a hindrance than it should be. Let's think of it this way. In Judges, Gideon encounters the angel of the Lord while fearfully threshing wheat in a wine press, busy and working, but with only a percentage of effectiveness because he's being driven by fear. But the angel of the Lord comes and calls him a mighty man of valor and tells him that the Lord is with him. Gideon responds and says that his circumstances are showing him otherwise, that this isn't what you being with us should look like, Lord. Now, the angel of the Lord tells Gideon that he will be the one that leads his people to victory over the Midianites, that he is actively hiding from. Of course, Gideon responds with doubts. He looks at everything the world tells him that he needs to have in order for that to be possible. The status, the build, the army, etc. But how the Lord sends Gideon is what stands out to me. He doesn't tell Gideon to go get what he feels he lacks. He doesn't say, I will change your status so you and the people believe that you can do it. He says to the man hiding in the wine press, go in this might of yours. Go with the strength that you have currently, and you will win because I am sending you. And to Gideon's doubtful responses, he says that I will be with you. That's all you need to reach the goal. And we see this in other accounts in the Bible, like with David, whose preparation to defeat Goliath didn't look like being the most elite soldier or adorning the armor that Saul thought he needed to stand a chance. Instead, it was going in the strength and ability and faith that God had already built in him during his time as a shepherd. Or like Paul, who after his recent conversion to the faith, didn't wait for the approval of other apostles or priests, nor did he try to polish up his life to distract from the bad he had done in the past to make himself more palatable before walking out God's calling and preaching the gospel. Instead, he simply started. But why can't we just have what we feel like we need? Then we can do what you want, God. Well, in reality, there's a good chance that we won't. We'll just get comfortable with the thing instead of going towards the battle that it's for. But that's just my speculation. What does scripture show us? In Judges 7, after Gideon has finally been convinced that God will give him the victory after many signs, Gideon begins to assemble his army. And Gideon gathers the number of warriors that he thought he needed, 32,000 men. The Lord told him that that was too many people. But why? Because with that number, it would be easy for Israel to say that my own hand saved me. that it wasn't the Lord that gave them the victory over the Midianites, but themselves. And I realized that I could be the same way, that in all the knowledge that I think I need to gain, all the people that I want to bring along, whatever, I could be robbing God of the glory that he's due by saying that the thing or the people enabled me to get the victory instead of him. But back to Gideon. When the Lord starts to reduce the number of people in the army, we see that he didn't even have good quality control. The first 10,000 people that God sent away had to leave because they were fearful and trembling. They would have been no real use in the battle. And if we look at the things and people that we've collected out of need, I'm sure we could point out some things that we could do without too. Things that we thought were required for entry that really were just polished weights that hinder us from running the race that is set before us. And so the message is this: go where the Lord is sending you when he tells you to go. Do what the Lord is telling you to do when he is telling you to do it, and believe that he will be with you. Let him detail what you do and don't need to accomplish the task he set before you. Also, you and the world doesn't miss the way that God's glory will show up in your life, in your yes. That's it. Love y'all.